Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. A Scottish man, 35, has been arrested on Friday, February 5th, for an offensive tweet about Sir Captain Tom Moore. He is facing 6 months in jail and a £5,000 fine. I'm sure you remember Sir Tom Moore. He is 100 years old. He wanted to raise £1,000 for the NHS by walking around his garden using his walker. He raised initially £32 million, and I'm seeing different figures. I believe this figure grew to 57 million because I'm seeing figures between 32 million and 57 million. As a result of his efforts to help the NHS, he was knighted by the Queen in a very famous ceremony. He was made an honorary colonel, raised up from captain. He broke 2 Guinness World Records. He was gifted a free flight by British Airways. On December 22nd of last year, he and his family flew to Barbados for Christmas, to celebrate Christmas, and he thought this might be the last trip he ever gets to take because he's 100 years old. He and his family did not break any of the existing Wu-flu restrictions because they're close family. He lives with his daughter and her husband and their children. So these are all close family members, and I guess there were less than 10 of them. So for going to Barbados, he was mobbed on Twitter for his privilege. Absolutely mobbed. Really vicious attacks on him. So this man, this Scottish man, I believe he was one of the people mobbing Sir Thomas More. And personally, I'm kind of happy to see the payback because it only goes one way. You know, the arrests and whatnot, it only ever goes one way. And so this man is a big time leftist, and he's mobbing Sir Tom Moore. So I'm almost kind of glad to see it cut the other way. So it looks like he got the Wu flu on that trip, and he recently died on February 2nd, 2021. So that's quite a story. So I want to look at this man who, will he get jail time or will he get a fine? How is it going to turn out for this man who... And I can't find the tweet, so I would really like to know what the tweet is. I can't find this man's name. Everything is being kept confidential, which is strange because he's 35. You keep the names of minors and their pictures confidential, but you don't keep adults' names confidential. It's public record. But it's in Scotland, so maybe it's not public record. In the United States, people who are arrested, you could just look them up online and see the arrest record and see if they're in the jail. So what's he going to get? Ooh. Oh. It's kind of strange that, you know, the government, okay, daddy and mommy, are enforcing such strange things. I don't think that, I'm sure this man's tweet does not reach the level of what's called hate speech. He probably did not incite violence or suggest violence against Sir Tom Moore. He was just being nasty, really, really nasty. You know, and London, with, you know, their no guns and all, they have a higher crime rate than New York City. They have acid attacks, they have terrorist attacks, man, it's a mess over there. They have diversity barriers around London Bridge and all of the monuments because people are driving cars and trucks and running people over and trying to drive them into buildings and blow them up, but they're going after nasty tweets. So it's a little odd. And I don't know. So how bad is it going to be for him? Home associated with people, incubus, succubus, scapegoat. So he's getting the blame. There's a bunch of people who sent nasty tweets. Nasty, nasty tweets, but he's getting the blame. 14, 18, 5 diamonds. They're going after this guy. He's maybe a figurehead. That's not fair. You should never go after just one person as a figurehead. It looks like they're making an example out of him. The finger of God, the courts are intervening to expose this. 2 spades, jack of diamonds, 5 diamonds, 2 diamonds, 6 diamonds. So diamond ring hand in hand. A whole lot of people. And then player. They're making a play. They're making an example out of this man. That's not fair. It looks like they're making an example out of this man. So a whole bunch of people sent nasty tweets, but they're making an example out of this man. Are they unfairly making an example out of this man? You know, just singling him out because he's the right person to single out. You know, he's a male, he's a Scottish lad, and you know, are they unfairly making an example out of this man? You know, when other people said worse things. That's the courts and the judge. We have a no, and we have a yes. We have the no and the yes. Key decision to cut opportunity. The courts and the ruler and the courts are taking this opportunity. So that's making an example out of him. The court, the government working everything together to stop this. 13, 22, 25. They're trying to stop this. The prosecution of it's not showing that this is grossly unfair here. I think it is showing it's a little bit unfair here. They're really just putting all the blame on this guy. They're trying to shut down this kind of speech. I don't see how you can. You know, people should be able to say whatever they want, and it will offend some people as long as you're not overtly threatening to kill someone. There are prohibitions against pornography and threats of violence. And so those are, you know, very bright line things. And as long as you don't post clearly pornography, and that line keeps changing because people wear more and more outrageous things, or, you know, violence, then it should be acceptable. So was he part of the Twitter mob, the Twitterati mob that attacked Sir Thomas More? Let's just take a look at that. Was he part of that original mob? So the Twitter mob who attacked him for going to Barbados. And this guy. Ooh, devil. Part of that Twitter mob. So devil, he's the worst. Coffin, secret, and he may have sent a whole bunch of stuff. 1822, 6 diamonds. There are many people here. Many, many malicious, angry, vicious people. He may be part of like an organization. This is the Twitter mob. The Foundation Strength, Angel at the Crossroads. 22, 27, cross. So he stands apart from the mob. 6 diamonds, he may be part of an organization, but he's not part of the Twitter mob. And he was trying to remain very anonymous. I think he really crossed the lines because I can't find the tweet and I can't find his name. Lover's Veil, he got in really close, 3 hearts. It just became a very emotional thing for him. So I'm going to say he is not part of the mob. He's really stood out. I really wish I would have liked to see his tweet. So I think it's pretty obvious that Tom Moore got the Wu flu by traveling to Barbados. You know, anywhere along that chain of traveling, he would have gotten it. and the stress of traveling, that's a long trip, back and forth, time changes, 5 hours difference, or I'm not sure what the time change is. I think, yeah, several hours between East Coast and London. So, and Barbados should be on East Coast time. So we've been wearing these masks for a year. It's been like a year and 3 months. I remember more than a year ago, there were food shortages in my area. You couldn't find rice, couldn't find any soup at all of any kind. So will we be wearing these masks in another year? Because people are really starting to chafe and there's riots breaking out. Are we still going to be wearing these masks a year from now? Are we still going to be wearing the mask? Hamster wheel is the same thing day after day. In the world, this blockage, 1823. Yeah, right on the surface, this is going to go on and on and on and on and on and never stop. Okay, and here and there, somebody is going to get caught by it. And there was just a tribute that I was watching to all these centenarians, 100-year-old people and older, giving tribute to Tom Moore. And some of them said, oh, I had it, but I got over it. It just made me a little bit tired. And they're over 100 years old. Cornucopia, mustard seed, fox. It's affecting everything. This bug is planted everywhere. It's affecting everything, 21 and all the people. Fox is very clever. Fox is a doctor. Fox is a clever plan. So they are cleverly making it affect everything. So this is going to go on and on and on. For at least another year, we're still going to be wearing masks, which is outrageous, okay? And they recently announced new lockdowns in California, and then a huge effort was made to, get rid of Gavin Newsom, the governor, because they're so sick of the economy of California being decimated, and then he immediately removed all the restrictions, and now they're recalibrating the test so that less people will show positive. So it's a mess. So it's going to go on and on and on and on. All right. So number one, let's review. Will he get jail time or a fine? That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing him being singled out from among a bunch of people, and they made a play. So they're really trying to crack down on this going forward. So I do see him singled out a bit. And then I asked, was an unfair example made out of him? Was he unfairly targeted? Well, the government, they worked everything together. They considered everything. So he's not unfairly targeted. But this is an opportunity for the government to officially get somebody. So they are making an example out of him. But his tweets were so egregious that they feel like he is a special example of what they don't want people to do. Okay, then I compared him to the Twitter mob versus this guy. He's especially bad, and he was really hiding. I think he was hiding under a false identity on Twitter. And the basic Twitter people are like angels compared. It's pretty, it's a good situation over there with the angel, a good foundation at the crossroads. So they very carefully selected him. He was singled out, but he's the worst of the worst. And it's not unfair, but the government is taking this opportunity to crack down on this kind of speech. And then I asked if we're going to be wearing masks a year from now. We will. We will be using wearing masks a year from now. And this clever fox is disturbing because they're kind of manipulating things to keep people afraid and you know, restricted. Enough is enough, I think. I think they should open everything up. But we've got Biden in the presidency, so we'll see what happens. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the books worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Many thanks to the generous folks who bought me a cup of tea. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment.